Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, that is. Whichever holiday you celebrate, if any, I hope you're all having a great day. But I'm doing a book review, and the book I want to review is Santa's Twin by Dean Koontz. Now, I already reviewed this book all the way back in 2014. That review is still up, however, it's no longer public. It's now marked as unlisted, but you could still see it with a link, and I'll leave a link in the description below to where you can check out my old review of this book. Now, Santa's Twin is a children's storybook published in 1996, and this features illustrations from frequent Dean Koontz collaborator Phil Parks. Now, Dean Koontz is primarily known for his horror, science fiction, and thriller novels like Watchers, Twilight Eyes, Phantoms, and the Odd Thomas series, so a children's book, especially a children's book like this, might seem kind of perplexing from a man like Dean Koontz, but this isn't the only children's novel that he's done. Like Dean Koontz, if you actually look at his entire body of work, he actually had a very versatile career. Now, this book belonged to my aunt, and I remember my aunt reading this to me when I was a little kid, and she ended up giving me a bunch of her Dean Koontz books, including this one, and I read it for the first time as an adult back in 2014, and when I first read it as an adult, I liked it, but it didn't really, make a huge impression on me. Upon rereading it for this review, this is actually a really well-written and really clever story. And again, it's definitely for kids, but it's actually very poetic how it's written. I mean, it's written in rhymes, almost like a Dr. Seuss story in a way. And the story is both adorable, but also kind of hilarious as well. But basically, the premise of the story is Santa Claus has an evil twin named Bob, who ends up locking him up in this dungeon and then taking his sled, and Bob decides that he's going to ruin Christmas. So he goes from house to house, basically wrecking everything and replacing presents with toad snot and cat poop and all other kinds of disgusting things. And the story follows these two sisters named Charlotte and Emily who have to stop Bob and save Santa and ultimately save Christmas. Like I said, Santa's Twin is an adorable story. Admittedly, I mainly read this because I'm already a Dean Koontz fan to begin with, and there is sort of an interesting novelty having a children's book by him, but it's actually a really good children's book. Now, being a Dean Koontz book, there is sort of a dark undercurrent to it, but it's not too dark where I think it's going to traumatize any kids. I think if you have kids, you could definitely read this to them. And the illustrations by Phil Parks are also really well done. And there's also this really cute running gag throughout the story where snowmen show up in every illustration, including on a plane. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. If you have kids, I think they would definitely appreciate it. But if you just want to get it because you're a Dean Koontz completionist, then check it out. Now, Dean Koontz also did a sequel to this called Robot Santa, which I haven't read yet. So yeah, that was my review on Santa's Twin by Dean Koontz. Once again, Merry Christmas. I have 2 other Christmas videos in the works right now, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to finish them tonight. They're probably going to go up within the next day or two.